We are live, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to let some of you guys check on in here. And what I'm going to do is I am going to share. So come on in and let me know where you are watching from. There's my notification. Effective Living is live. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning. And let me tell you all something. Yesterday, I introduced a friend of mine from Longview, Texas, who is doing a great work here in the great state of Texas, and now we're featuring the Bahamas. And so please come on in and be a part of this conversation. Good morning. Good morning. I need you to check in. Good morning. Melissa, God bless you. Good morning. Good morning. Lucretia, God bless you. Come on in here. Ladies, listen, this week we're featuring some exceptional people who are doing phenomenal work. And so yesterday, if you have not watched yesterday, go back and watch Patrick Johnson and the incredible work he's doing in Longview, Texas. And this morning, it's all Bahamas, y'all. It's all Bahamas. And so I'm excited about introducing my guests, but look at these guys plugging in. There's my mama. There's my mama, Eunice Miller. Praise the Lord. Hey, Mom. I love my mama, man. I tell them sometimes I think I'm a mama's boy, but then I ain't quite a mama's boy because I think mama's boys get a bad rap. Okay? But I love my mama. Hey, God bless you guys. Hey, do me a favor and share, tag, and invite someone, especially the crew in the Bahamas. All of you guys from the Bahamas that are part of the community, please do me a favor and share. So we're gonna talk about some real stuff this morning. Yesterday we kick off some real stuff on what Patrick Johnson is doing here in the great state of Texas. And now we're going to talk about what's happening in the Bahamas. And so please let me know where you're watching from. I see the Bahamas flag represented in the house. Listen, we're beautiful people, man. We don't play. We show up strong. Okay, where are you watching from? Which island you're watching from? Which country you're watching from? What state are you watching from? Listen, guys, before I introduce my guest, I want to remind you, effective living is all about you taking control of your life and structuring your affairs to the degree that you now are moving in a progressive way to bring about the best service to humanity. That's really what it's all about, okay? I call it creating a life you don't need a vacation from. And the people that I'm interviewing this week, these are people who are in love with what they've been called to do. They love serving humanity. Miss Khandi Gibson, what's up, lady? How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful.
Man, listen, you are what we say in Pentecostal Church of Faith and God in Wonder Life, you say you are a soldier in the army of the Lord. I mean, you have been doing a splendid job with your organization. And I know you're no stranger to many who are watching and participating in this live this morning. But tell us a little bit about yourself and your organization for those that are watching from around the world. Tell us about you and your organization.
Okay, my name is Khandi Gibson. I'm the mother of two beautiful children, a 24-year-old and a 13-year-old. And I also have an adopted daughter, and I got her from September. She's 20. I have a sweet grandbaby, and that she could get me to run quicker than anybody. No victim could get me to run quicker enough. I started Form as Families of All Murder Victims. It was birthed after the murder of my two brothers, 8 months apart. And we just started just helping the murder victims' family, making sure the mothers, the aunts, the uncles, the husbands, the daddies, making sure that they would have gotten counseling and so forth. Make sure the children, we had partnership with a few schools, and the children got scholarship from age 1 to 5 years old. We provide new and used clothing for them. We provide groceries for them, and that's what we just started out from. From then we have rebranded now, and we now have another arm, which is our community center. We also have a female shelter. And we also, because of COVID-19, we have a COVID-19 rental assistance program going on because a lot of persons now are being evicted from their homes.
Yeah. There are a lot of hurting people, but let's go back and start really at the beginning. You mentioned murder. I mean, many have seen you on television. We've seen you in the newspaper talking about these various senseless murders. I mean, talk to us a little bit about some of the experiences that you have had. Obviously, you've had the unfortunate mishap of this occurring in your family that birthed this organization. But I knew I'm aware that there are many instances where you show up to support, to console, and to support family members. Talk to us about really that experience and the pain that you continue to see that's occurring through this unfortunate challenge that a lot of people are having to experience.
Well, with a murder, nobody can never be prepared for murder, because that's to our family members, that's a loved one, that's like an untimely death. And to have a loved one murdered, the chain is broken. There once would have been a whole chain. She would have had a loop, and that loved one's no longer there, so the chain is open. And don't care how you try to move forward, there's always going to be that void. But nevertheless, you still have to press for, you have to press forward, knowing that at the end of the day that they're no longer here, but you still have your life to move on, even though it's hard. Because I know, when my first brother got killed, just sometimes I laugh or smile. It hurt me. I was like, Kenny, how could you smile and laugh when your brother's no longer here? How can you enjoy life? So you have a moment when you feel resentment. You have a moment where you feeling like you're betraying them. You feel like you're violating them. But at the end of the day, life goes on. And so it brings joy when I go to murder scenes and I go to families after the loved ones would have been murdered. Mind you, started out because of my passion for murder, because my two brothers got killed. But to be honest with you, I don't like going to murder scenes. I don't, because death is final. Death is final. Don't care what you do or didn't do. Death is final. We can't at a time. You can't bring back that person. You can't bring back the time. So it really hurts my heart to have to go in the scene. But nevertheless, like how Jesus said, he felt our infirmity. He was touched with our infirmity. So when I go in the scene, hey, guess what? The tell person that God did it, not me. It ain't me. I come here because I come here to spectate. I ain't coming to gather no information. I ain't coming to find out. I come because I care. I once walked that road. I know what you're going through. I know that pain. I know that agony of defeat. I know what that is like. So when I come there to bring hope. And that's not just saying I'm sidelining anybody religion. I come to bring hope. Whatever religion you are, I come to bring hope. So I don't scorn if you was a Rasta, you was a Haitian, you was a Cuban, you was Jamaican. I come there with the love of God, and I come there because it's a mandate. Man ain't giving this mandate. It's a mandate God has given me. So when I go in murder scenes, Ricardo, and I see families once broken and turning over on the ground and throwing themselves on the ground and laying out and and so forth and being I'm overwhelmed by grief. And when I'm able to speak with them and go back to them days later, and I see that them able to crack a smile and their joyous face, I say, wow, I say, my God, there is a God. There is a God, because that incident, that situation was supposed to take you, but you're here today. And so I must say it's truly has been a journey, and I love what I do.
Yep. You obviously love what you do. I've been following your platform for a while. Let's talk about that passion that pushed you to go into a territory of pain for a lot of people with the intent to bring joy. Because a lot of people, we watch the news and we read maybe newspapers on social media of horrible things, horrific things that's happening. And for us in the Bahamas, you show up, and like you said, even if it's not on the scene, it's coming to the family afterwards and trying to see how can I assist. I mean, the passion, talk about that, because you said God gave it to you. But man, let me tell you something. A lot of people would have probably started for a few months, maybe a year or two, and then they fizzle off. But apparently you have not fizzled off. You've been cranking it up. You've been intensifying it. And you've been the voice for the voiceless. You've been the passion for those who have literally lost their passion for life and commitment to live. You've been encouraging. So talk to us about what stirs that up for you. I mean, I know your relationship with God, but in addition to what is some of the things that reminds you, can we keep moving forward?
Okay, when I'm gonna tell you like when my first brother had gotten killed, Anthro, they say we are twins. He bright and I dark, and we look identically alike. That's my heart. Anthro was my heart. I was like my mother born them, but I mothered him, and my other brother kind of OG. And so when Andrew had gotten killed, I'm gonna tell you word lie, I wanted blood. He said, eye for an eye and a tooth for tooth. I wanted blood. You understand me? And I'm gonna tell you word lie. If I tell you I didn't thought about revenge or retaliation, and I was in church and I was the liturgical dancer and I loved the Lord, yes, and everything, but they killed my brother, so I wanted revenge. And I ain't gonna tell you word a lie. And so there were times when I'm gonna be honest, there were times I would try, stake out the person and the person would never come home. There were times when this one particular time when the guy
hold on. She said, listen, man, I was trying to stake on the place and if I could find where you went. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, I was trying to stake with the person myself because I wanted blood. Now I ain't tell you word. I don't want to kill the person though. I just want to shoot them 4 times in their kneecaps. And I'm telling you, this me. This the Christian, filled, sanctified, liturgical dancer. This me. And I just want to. I don't want to kill them. I just want to shoot them 4 times in the kneecap, and so they could be in a wheelchair. And I'm telling you, this the devil in me now. This ain't the God. It's the devil.
Yeah.
And so I can see them, and I can see them in a wheelchair and spit on them and say, "This will be, you remember you killed my brother. This is my brother." So I can always pass them and spit on them, And then there was another time too when someone said, "Can you don't spend no money, eh?" I said, "How you mean I don't spend no money?" And I was in the word like, and I was about to count that money out. God allowed Bishop Rudolph Balfour. He called me. He said, "Sister Gibson." At the time I was going to the New Wine Kingdom ministry. He said, "Sister Gibson," he said, "the Lord sent me here to tell you whatever you're about to do, don't do it." He said, "I come here to pray for you, and I won't tell you a word of lie." And he came in, and while he was to the house, the person ringing off my phone, because they want our money now. They ready to carry a job. And God put it so that he came and he prayed for me, and after he prayed for me, and he stayed with me for a little while, that thought changed. That thought changed. And that would have been before the time when I sit in this house and I drink bleach. I just wanted to die. I left my house open. I didn't care if someone would come in and kill me or rape me. I felt like my world had ended. When you actually have somebody, a loved one, they become your world, you live in. But that loved one is your world. If he get locked up, don't care where he is, I come in. Whatever they say, Khandi. All I know is when he got locked up, call Khandi, call my sister, call Khandi. So don't care whatever happened, I was there. But this one particular time when he got killed, I wasn't there. So I was very bitter. So when I go to people, you don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. And that's why I just tell persons, like, when you go into a time, you got to be so careful who you allow to get in your air gate. Because once they get in your air gate, you digest that one call over. And so that's why my main focus is when I go mercy, I get to the strongest link. If that's the wife, the mother, the girlfriend, the auntie, whoever the strongest link is, I get to them. If I don't try to get to them, I can prepare myself for the consequences. I try to get them to start ministering to them. And
I got you on a roll, man. But this is some good stuff. The air gate. You see, I'm hearing that sensitive because that's such a major element. Because listen, I grew up on the street. I grew up on Soldier Road, and I can remember fellas them come and say, "What you gonna do? How we gonna deal with this? Are you ready to deal with this?" And so, like you said, it's that wrong person showing up, getting that air. Okay. And so,
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? How about that? Can you hear me? You muted. You just muted yourself. You just muted yourself. All right? You just muted yourself. Unmute. You still muted. You're still muted. You muted your mic. Yep. All right. You muted your mic. Keep the camera like that, but touch the mic. Yeah.
Okay. I can hear you.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. So, guys, we're talking with Ms. Gibson here. This is a lady who's doing a phenomenal work in the Bahamas, more specifically in New Providence, assisting murder victims, families, and so much more. But I want to dive into what you just talked about, the air gate and connecting with those persons before they got the wrong persons to show up and to encourage behavior practices that just is inappropriate. And I know what you're talking about because I can remember friends will come in your yard, "Hey, let's go deal with this." In other words, that's a retaliation moment, And so mama's trying to hold the brothers down or trying to hold that nephew down. Don't do this. So to go in and connect with that person, what, I mean, you got to have confidence like a lion. I mean, you show up and you say, hey, listen. I know you're the person, you're the decision maker in relations to how this is going to play out. Talk to us about that.
Okay, I can let me just take you back to during COVID-19, during like couple of months ago. There were these couple that were by court. Their loved one was killed, and so you had the loved one you had the victim's family by court,
Yep.
and then you had the accused family by court. Wow. And so at the time, tension was flying. Lord this, Lord that, Lord that, and I was out there because I had to go to, I was going to court for somebody else, chose to court for somebody else's situation, whatever the case is. And so like they were like coming to get it. They were coming like for the be heated. And I stand in front of everybody. I said, no! Yep. This ain't going on there. Like this ain't happening like this. This is not gonna go down like this today. Yep. I know what you feel and I know what you're going through. But hey, this is not the answer. So and so is already gone. You could stand here, we could accuse them and point fingers up at all they want. I understand, yes, and yeah, they say they did it, but at the end of the day, they couldn't do nothing that God didn't allow.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
And so that's what I'm at now. I'm saying, so I said, if and I saw the tragic situation happen, but at the end of the day, if he was supposed to be here, he would have been here. All of us have our time frame with earth. We have an entrance date and we have an exit date. We don't know how we going, but we are going. And this is not a good representation. All of us hurting. Yeah. All of us hurting. Yeah. And so, and after finish talking to them, and I finished talking to them, and I said, I understand you're going through. I ain't standing here. I ain't standing looking for clout. I ain't standing here looking for nothing. But I came and I said, but I said, so please, let's. I know it's hurting, but let's let the law of the land carry our course. Yep. I know what it's like, because one problem can lead to another problem. We ain't looking for another problem. A problem is done because you're broken, or both of you are broken. This side broken because their loved one get killed. This side broken because their children go to prison. And so you're once in a community now is divided. Why? Because the devil got in. Wow. And so I'm talking to them and they separated. This one go on this side, that one go on that side, whatever the case is. The police officer came and said, thank you so much, ma'am. Yep. Thank you. And I felt good about that.
Yep. Wow. That's a once again, I could see both sides. Both sides. But once again, you have developed a relationship with the community as a spokesman for lack of a better term, righteousness and to help bring some form of order to something that can be very chaotic. I mean, in a real type of way. You have kept your authenticity to the max. Okay, you keep it real 100%. I've been watching you more than a decade. Of you doing your thing. How have you been able to preserve that? Because I know how have you been able to preserve the keeping it real, Khandi Gibson? How have you been able to not eventually allow? Because you've become extremely popular. With the service you provide. I mean, very, very influential in speaking to a lot of persons in authority as to trying to address a lot of what's happening in relations to murder victims and their families, and a lot with a lot of hurting people in the Bahamas. What has kept you, what they would say, grounded?
But all I can say, again, it's my faith in God. I tell you what, I didn't share earlier, but my boyfriend had gotten killed. And I'd been off the island for a bit, and I said, man, hold on. I need to seek help. I need to seek help now. I say, I've been helping everybody. Now it's my time to check myself in. And so when I went to a psychiatrist and a counselor, because I would have two brothers, and my first brother got killed in 11, my second brother in 12, and then my boyfriend in 15. And that was a whole different thing altogether, because here it is now, you're going from being an advocate, you advocate against murder, now have your name mixed up in somebody murder, you understand me, over just lies, and that's untruth, and so so when I come out and I speak to people, and then young people come to me, oh, Daddy, no true, I ain't do this. I know what it's like to be false accused, but nevertheless, so when it's time for me to check myself and I see if I okay now, because I get into a lot. I went to two visits to the counselor, but I went 2 visits, and on the 3rd visit, the counselor said, psychiatrist said, Mom, you don't need us. We need you. I said, huh? I heard him, she say, I only could tell you, miss, it's your faith in God that have you here.
Yeah.
And at that time, I broken, I hurting. It feel
Yeah.
like the whole Bahamas against me. I was
Yeah.
one of the people hero. I'm down to the people zero. I'm humiliated all level.
Yeah.
And so I can tell anybody, when you know God,
Yeah.
only God you could run to.
Yeah.
Regardless how the situation look,
Yeah.
only God you could turn to. And
Yeah.
only Him could give you a cleansing of a renewal of your mind. Because the Bible says, so a man think it, so a see. So
Yeah.
if you think God, you only could know God. And
Let me-
so I thank God. I thank God every day for that's why I always tell people, there's no time to have a fellowship with God. You must have a relationship.
Yeah.
Build a relationship with God. When you build a relationship with God, you can call Him Daddy.
Yeah.
You could call Him your sweetheart. You
Yeah.
call Him my trusted friend. You could
Yeah.
call Him I am that I am. You could call Him the
Yeah.
Elohim. You call Him the Yahshua. You call Him Jesus. You call Him
Yeah.
Jehovah. You could
Yeah.
call Him glory. You could call Him
Yeah. Yeah.
Lily of the Valley. You call Him the bright morning star.
Come
It's
on.
up to you. You have
Yeah.
to build a relationship with God. And so, but there were times when I doubted God. Now I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm like holy and solely.
Right.
There were times when I cursed God too.
Yeah.
Two brothers married 8 months and a boyfriend. And 15, I was like, God, this ain't working. This ain't working. But like I said again, when you know God, you only can run to God. I build forward friendly. I build God friendly. And that's the beauty of it. God friendly.
She said, I didn't build Ford friendly. I built God friendly. I love that. I built God friendly. Let me ask you a question. You just dropped in something there. I want to touch that for a minute. You said there was a moment, I remember your platform came up very prominent, helping a lot of people. And then you hit a bump in the road, I call it. A bump in the road where you were starting to feel as though, hold on, man, I've helped so many people. Why in the world there's some negative light coming to me? I mean, once that cleared up, you could have easily just chose to never deal with this anymore. You'd be like, you know what?
Right.
You're all jokers. Listen, I stayed up all night. I walked the streets. You know what I mean? I went to people's grave. I went to the hospital. I've been to the prisons. I've served. And then something negative was said about me, and then there are people feeding that crap. What kept you? And I know I heard that God factor, but let's talk about you decided to come back into the fight and still stayed committed to what you have been called to do, because you could have thrown in the towel and say, I'm just going to take care of me and mine. Forget the rest.
See, there's a big difference when God called you and you just went.
Wow.
See,
Ooh.
God called me.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
See, your people who just went off their own. I just went off on my own. This ain't something I just get up one night and think I can do this.
Yep.
Thank you, Lynette. That's one of the strongest women I know. Thank you, Lynette. I just get up one day and say, I can do form. This was already in me from my mother's womb. Because God said, for I know every strand of hair on your head. I know you from your mother's womb. God, I know the plans I had for you.
Yep.
I didn't know the plans at that time. Back then, I would think I was acting on the character, but all of us God plans for my life. I couldn't understand it, but I could understand that everything just rolling into one. I remember I went to Canada and I live in a shelter. Okay, how could you have partial people homeless Candy if you ain't been homeless? Okay, so now when I come back home, my first order of business was establishing a home for ladies to be who have their situation, who are going through their tough times. That's my first order of business.
Yep.
Okay, I realized too, men go through stuff too, so it's no longer a female shelter. It's now a housing project because we have males live there too with their kids. And so, like, I personally feel like God Himself. That I personally feel the truth of the matter is God's not coming down from heaven to do His work. He is going to designate people on this earth to do His work. And so, what I'm doing right now is I can't take glory for this. I only can say God. I can't say Rastafari. I can't say Selassie. I can't say Buddha. I only could say it's my Jehovah Jireh. I only can say it's my way maker. I only can say it's my miracle working worker. I only can say it's the one who has made the stars in the heaven. I know them by name. I'm perfect. Now I'm not going to say perfect. You understand me? But all I can say is I love my God. I love my God. I love my daddy.
Yeah. Listen. Wow. That is so good. Thank you for sharing that with us. I've been watching your platform, and you have been consistent again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a little extended conversation because I got Khandi Gibson on with me, and she got something to say, and we're going to need to hear this, okay? But over the years, you have been consistent in working with businesses. You've been working with families. You've been working with governments, both government, the present government and the opposition. You've been working with law enforcement. You've been working with gangs. You've been working with churches. Like you said, you don't have a problem showing up at the Rasta camp. You ain't got no problem showing up. You know what I'm saying, at the Adventist church. You ain't got no problem showing up. I mean, you know, where hurting people is, this is where you show up. Talk to us about that, because you sort of really has built a reputation of not having an agenda. This ain't a Pentecostal Gibson. This ain't a PLP Gibson. This ain't no, you know what I'm saying? This ain't a political move because you're trying to run an election campaign. How have you been keeping it like that?
Okay, first of all, the only running I'm doing right now is running to lose weight. I need to run to lose weight. The next one, and I normally crack jokes. Running, I running from the man. That's all I do, running from the man. I'll crack jokes. But my agenda is the people's agenda. I know what it's like to be wayside. I know what it's like to be thrown in the background. I know what it's like to be humiliated. I know what it's like to be embarrassed. I know what it's like to have nothing. I know what it's like to be low and low. And so I know it's like to be rejected, you know? And so when persons come to me, they're rejected. You understand me? They're the ones who the cats are the ones who this person ain't taking the time with, this person ain't turning them away, this person ain't doing this right. So when they come to me, that's now our problem. So our problem now will be your problem. So I don't care where you work, I don't care what you do, I don't care who you is. The person, it lies on my doorstep, and together, me and this person, we can clean it up. You understand me? They said the rod of correction, drive it out, right? So form is the rod of correction, we can drive it out. You understand me? We can drive it out. You understand me? And so when they come to me, and I'm gonna tell you what, like sometimes people like dislike me, or like I wouldn't say hate, but they might like to go for things. But the Bible tells you offense may come, but woe to whom it cometh. The Bible tells us that. Understand me? And the Bible also tells us that righteousness exalts the nation, but sin is a reproach. So when they come to me, I go in there with my shield, I go in there with my sword, I go in there with my shoot of preparation of peace, I go in there with the full arm of God, the helmet of salvation. So when I go in there, covered with God. And that means I'm ready. Like I tell people, the Israelites fought too. So when people come to me, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna be the one to carry them over, like how God divided the Red Sea for the Israelites. We coming true. We coming true. God dividing this. We coming true.
Yes. Listen, this is I'm enjoying this. Listen, let me ask you this. There are. I know no matter what good you do on this planet, there will be someone who is gonna have some feelings about you, some negative feelings. They don't like how you show up. They don't like your candidness. They may not like what they call lack of political savviness in that of with the tact that they would prefer. But you show up and you call a spade a spade. How have you been able to cope with the people who choose not to like the positive things you're doing and the pure heartness that you show up every day, every week, every month that you're providing that service? You still get little haters. And so how do you deal with the haters and keep moving forward? And I heard you said, one of my favorite scriptures is guard your hearts with all diligence, because the truth of the matter is, like he says, woe unto him that offense may come to, not the one who caused the offense, but you got to guard yourself from offense. I get that. But I want to hear from you, because I know you have those who celebrate you, but then also those who hate on you, not because of anything you've done wrong, but just simply how you show up in the world in your service to humanity. How have you been able to deal with that and not go back and be a hater to them, or just simply decide to give them, you know what I mean, the finger or something?
Well, like first, I'm piggybacking on a question you asked earlier. I can work with anybody.
Good.
I can work with the cats, the dogs, the birds, the bees, the salami, the flies. I can work with anybody. The churches, government organization, agency. I can work with anybody. But then at the end, even with me working with you, I'm going to speak out. If you did something unwarranted, did something unethical, I'm going to speak out. If you did something I think you've done better, I'm going to speak out. You understand me? And so just if I do something wrong, like for instance, like I don't apply. My plight is murder victims. I was dating somebody who's on bail for murder. Okay? Now, I was called out on that. And please, if I go wrong anywhere, please call me out. I just I didn't like how it turned around with him getting killed. I didn't like that. But on the day I was called out about that. You can't be lukewarm. Either you're hot or you're cold. You can't be lukewarm. Okay, so from that happened, I've now aligned myself with positive people. My whole mindset knowledge change. Once you have a past or history with the law, I'm sorry. I can help you. I can be a friend. See, and we must also learn to, Ricardo. Sometime in life, we have to throw life raft to people. God never said get in and drown too.
Right.
People come in our life, their project. We must just throw the life raft to them and let the Basra and the other people, the U.S. Coast Guard, come and rescue them. He ain't say throw the life raft and you must rescue them too. You must throw them and help them. He ain't say be a rescue too. You understand me? And so that's what I realized. So like sometimes people come in life to be products. So persons I meet now who would have a criminal past, they're just products to me. I'm trying to get too close to you. I'm trying to really affiliate my brand with you. If I can help, if you need something, you need a boost, you need an attorney, because we have attorneys on board that who do pro bono service free of charge for persons. And so I would step in and I would do my part, but that's it. But the critics, I can't wait. Jesus came here for the world and they talk for Jesus. Jesus did everything. Jesus healed the people. He fed the people, and when they want, I forget his name now. They want him over Jesus. And what his name again now? Oh no, what his name again?
Barabbas.
They want Barabbas over Jesus. So that's just how it is. You understand me? Even like I look at some of my videos be positive, and I might have one couple shares or a couple likes. You understand me? But the people the negative people or whatever it is, they get the billions of likes. I can't watch that. I say, okay, how come this person getting recognized and you ain't getting recognized? How come this person getting the donation and you ain't get the donation? God ain't never tell me look at them. You understand me? Wow. So I ain't looking at them. I looking at he said, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all other righteousness. And all others will be added. Things will be added unto you. He said, things will be added unto you. So the fact I'm here today, Ricardo, just God preservation, because in 2015 I would be a dead woman, that was supposed to be a massacre. But I am here today, and what I say, I am standing on solid rock. And another power that I've got, Satan can't prevail. I can't sing, but Satan can't prevail. And so I don't worry about the haters. I know, like I said, I know God sent me. I know God sent me, Ricardo.
What a positive vibe to have, man. Listen, I'll tell you, I've been doing my little thing with children's ministry over the years, and I had my moments of struggling with the little haters, and so I watch your platform. I commend you. I compliment your services all the time, and to say to people, I like your hustle, your commitment to continue to show up. Last but not least, talk about what are some of the services you guys are offering currently now that people may not know, but you're offering the services and partnership is what you do. Obviously, you're a nonprofit organization, and you're not a company that literally charge for a service. You are affording people to have an incredible service offered by your organization. So persons watching could be a blessing. They can come and assist. There are companies that can assist. There are individuals, churches, entities around the world can assist. Talk to us about what services you're offering and maybe how people can support what you're doing.
Okay, first of all, me coming on murder scenes, that's a free services. I come in there and hugging the people and comforting the people, reaching out to them. Days, weeks afterwards, that's a service right there with itself. We got to carry them a case of water, got to carry them some juice, got to carry them in memory of bracelet, and those bracelets aren't cheap. I have to order them from China to be able to give to the persons who would have been grieving for them to go through it much easier. I have my pastor, and I myself pray for them, and so I would give them to some. I give like 3 bracelets for farm, some I 4 bracelets for farm. It all depends. And so that's one free service. We also have a resume service where we do resumes for persons free of charge. We copy documents, that's free of charge. We have I wouldn't even say female shelter. We have a agape housing project where we have male live there with their children along with females. The shelter is not in the best condition. It needs repairs, so they want to come under arm to say, well, okay, we're going to help you with repair for the shelter. We also have a domestic violence part of it where we go to the victims' home. Our job is to help them get situated. We come in the home, we take them out, sometimes with police assistance, sometimes without police assistance. That's another arm. And then do bear in mind that I have to go in the vehicle. The vehicle need gas. And I'll go to the vehicle. Someone have a bus or one when Buster and Barney want bless food with, please feel free to bless
Come
food
on.
with. We
Yeah.
can use that. We
Yeah.
can use that.
Yeah.
Our have a pantry, a food pantry where we
Yeah.
give out grocery every day to the community. We give out grocery persons coming there because even though we have the National Feeding Task Force, we still have some person which is going very well. We still have person who would be slipping through the crack. They would have already signed up for it, but they haven't got a call back from the people as yet. Some of them they would already apply for our social services but they wouldn't get sorted out yet. They're waiting, and so while they're waiting, we try to fill in the gaps to make sure the persons are sorted out. So we put our pantry. We also have a clothing pantry where persons come and get free new and used clothing for them and their children. We have a back to school outlet of it too, where persons we ask persons to actually adopt a child for back to school. That means get that child ready the way you want to get your child ready for school. We have that part. We have our kids matters reading kiosk for the children for them to be able to problem with reading. Their children have problem reading. They come in and they can have someone that they help to teach them how to read. We also have a counseling part of it. We have Dr. Camille Bullitt, our psychologist, who's on board. The speaker persons have one-on-one session, group session with persons who would be going through a traumatic time, not just by a murder, but just going through any situation they can become a victim. We also have a COVID-19 rental assistance program where we first we get evicted, we ask persons to sponsor and donate, and they would be able to speak with the landlord, get the person name, they bring a letter to us from the landlord, we call the landlord, we see what's the least amount we can pay on their rent, and we have them for them to keep the home, because at the end of the day, how do we expect children to virtual learn if there's not a roof over their head? Yeah. How do parents even help their children if they don't know if it's gonna be a roof over their head tomorrow? You understand me? So we try with that. We do deal with that part of it also. So we have like a lot of stuff going on. I have a beautiful staff. Bianca Walks, the office manager. We have Brittany Davis. We have Jasmine Newbold. We have Vern Kelly volunteers. We have Mr. Ryan Nabi. We have the great Kamiko Evans, the vice president. We have Jeanette Horton. We have Tara Lloyd. We have Robin Lockhart. We have so many people that's named who are on board, not even who's just helping us out. And so we don't have, then we also have legal assistance. We have pro bono attorneys on board who are able to assist and assess persons who have cases. We are helping the coconut vendor boys that were going to court the other day, and they done an attorney. We had attorneys on board to go down there and represent them and so forth. And so we be doing our part. We're trying to get that day. We partnered with what is his name, Mr. Mr. Bethel. I always getting name mixed up, but Mr. Bethel, and we partnered with him the other day, and we were able to get some of the guys that didn't have their full hand certificate. We have persons like Miss Anastasia. We have persons like Miss Napaturi Miller. We have Miss Andrea was helping them with their business license. Not just helping the Coconut Water Boys, but they were helping other persons trying to get their business license during this COVID-19 for them to be able to sell their stuff without being harassed by the police. And even the other guy the other day too, who the police told him to shut down. We're helping him now. So he could go back on the road and tell us peanuts and so forth. So we're about the community. Our motto has changed. It's now making life easier for those in need and hurting amongst us is our motto.
Wow. Making life easier. And say it again.
Making life easier for those in need and hurting amongst us.
Wow, what an incredible work you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I mean, the extent of services. I told you guys, this is the real deal. And so for us, we just hosted a conference called the Influencer Summit. It was a training for those who are working with young people. On behalf of them, we're going to make a small contribution. I would like to sow $500 towards what you're doing, and you can pick that up today. You can pick that up today. I'll give you the contact to pick that up today on the ground in Nassau. But I want to challenge you. Welcome. I want to challenge those of you that are watching that are able to serve and assist an organization like this. Please do that. Reach out and assist. Let me tell you something. You just never know. And the reality of it is, I think effective living at its best there's a giving extension to that. You can't live your best without giving back to humanity. Okay? You cannot live your best without giving back to humanity. The Bible teaches us, it says, as long as the earth remains, there will be seed time and harvest. Be not deceived. What you sow, you will reap. And so while you're in a season of holding your own and you have maybe plenty or you're being sustained really well, remember there are hurting people out there. And Ms. Gibson, what she's doing is she's helping those hurting people. But you know what I know? I ran a nonprofit for years. And it's a challenge when you could see the amount of help, but then you don't have the resource to help. And obviously she's been pushing through. to make things happen. Guess how we can help her keep doing what she's doing? By financially supporting, not just praying, but financially supporting. So please do me a favor and contact her office today. Can you tell people how they can contact you? Telephone number, email, website, whatever.
Okay, they can contact me at phone. Our office number is 603, that's 1242 603 4141, or my cell 1242 424 8953. They want to write a check. It's a check would be in FOAM, FOAM, and we would appreciate if it's $1. That's $1 more than we ever had.
Correct.
And do bear in mind, Ricardo, like I tell persons, my name is now name brand, no household name in the Bahamas. If persons need stuff, Khandi Gibson Foam is always tagged on Facebook. So people can see we're out there, we're about the people, and we love the people. And what we do too is we give receipt. You give us $1, I take a picture, I give the person $1, and I send it back to you. We give receipt. Whatever you give us, we show you what way your money went. And so I let people know that it's a worthy cause they're sowing into. It's God's bosom they're sowing into.
Yes, excellent, excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it, Ms. Khandi. Listen, thank you very much for the exceptional work you're doing. We just wanted to highlight you and your services. Christmas is coming. Every year I've been doing a project in the Bahamas. And so I would love to partner with you and your organization for our Christmas outreach. And so we can talk more about that. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, guys, effective living requires you to give back as well. Make a commitment to show up every day and give your best to humanity. But in addition, as you're trying to make a way for you, make sure you make a way for others as well. So give give as it's given to you. Press down, shake it together,
and run it over.
Come on. Make sure you're a giver. Okay, don't just be a taker, be a giver. And so I'm glad persons will be able to contact you. Once again, she's on social media. What she's doing is legit, and she's been doing it for a while. And I'm honored to know that. Come on, straight up, keep doing what you're doing. God bless you. Have a phenomenal day, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow morning we'll be back here, same time, same place, pushing the concept of creating a life we don't need a vacation from. Effective living. That's what it's all about. God bless you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.